There's another twist in the ongoing battle over buoys placed in the Rio Grande to stop illegal immigration. Earlier this week, a federal judge ordered Texas to move those buoys. But last night, the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals stayed that order. And to help us understand what all this means, we turn to KPRC2 investigator Robert Arnold. Robert has been covering the border crisis for years, paying very close attention to this latest standoff between Texas and the federal government. Robert?
This is part of Texas's battle with the federal government over whether it has the authority to place these buoys in the Rio Grande. The federal government sued Texas over the buoys, and on Wednesday, the judge presiding over that case granted a temporary injunction ordering Texas to move the buoys to the riverbank. The state immediately appealed to the Fifth Circuit Court, and that brought us last night's development.
What that means is we're going to pause this temporarily to allow all the parties to submit briefs and other filings.
Josh Blackman is a constitutional law professor at the South Texas College of Law.
This is just basically a temporary administrative stay that might last maybe a week or two until the panel can then decide whether to actually grant a stay for a longer duration.
Texas placed nearly 1,000 feet of buoys in the Rio Grande near Eagle Pass earlier this summer. The federal government almost immediately sued, claiming Texas didn't get permission to build the structure in a navigable U.S. waterway. Texas shot back, claiming it didn't need permission because the water is too shallow to be a navigable waterway, and it has the constitutional right to place the buoys to deter what Governor Greg Abbott says amounts to an invasion of the state.
The United States and Texas have been at odds of immigration for years, and this is sort of just, it bubbles over. The argument about the invasion clause, I think, depends on there's some sort of urgent need, and the federal government hasn't been able to provide relief yet. Whereas here, this has been going on for years, so I don't think that argument quite works.
So a quick recap. The judge hearing the government's lawsuit against Texas ordered the state to move the buoys until the case was fully resolved in the courts. Texas appealed, and barely 24 hours later, the Fifth Circuit said Texas didn't have to follow that order until it makes a decision on the state's appeal. So again, we're going to have to keep a close eye on the courts for a decision. Live in the newsroom, Robert Arnold, KPRC 2 News.